ducks back down under the water.
Captain, I saw the shark! Oh my gosh! Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow, holy cow!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Survive This Crit. We're the podcast that combines our love for horror movies and RPGs to see if we can survive against some of Hollywood's most infamous movie monsters. This series, if you've clicked on this video, we are doing Jaws, and we're taking a step back from the classic D&D and Call of Cthulhu, and we are doing a Monster of the Week RPG. So, woo! Let's take a minute to introduce our characters. Agent Nick, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Agent Nick from Dead, D-E-A-D. I am a mundane, as they say in Monster of the Week, the mundane, and I chose to focus on amping my stats up in both sharp and toughness. I did a little self-reflection on myself, and I decided to not make cool one of my stronger attributes. So, besides that...
That's on brand.
Besides that, more about my character is that I come equipped with a pocket knife or multi-tool. I'll probably go with the multi-tool instead, I always prefer a Swiss Army knife over everything. And a small handgun, because you never know when you got to fire bullets underwater.
So good.
Amazing.
And then last thing here is means of transport. It doesn't matter here because we're on a boat.
We're on a boat.
But if the boat was big enough, we could fit a van, which is my means of transport.
So. Oh, that's incredible. And will you remind audiences, you've been a part of DEAD for quite a while, correct?
Yes. Since the beginning.
Since the beginning. You're one of the OGs.
Dying and keeping rebirthed.
You keep Yes, he is on, I think, Clone Edition number 4?
Who knows these days? Even the DAD has lost track.
Amazing. And Casey, would you like to introduce your character?
Hi, I am playing a version of myself. I'm Casey. I am also a mundane, given that the superpowers I possess in real life aren't really applicable to hunting sharks. So my version of myself has some perks in charm and is on even footing with a +1 to cool and sharp, with a -1 to weird because, as aforementioned, no magic powers. Carrying around that multi-tool, I'm picturing one of those bisected metal handles that opens up and you've got pliers or a knife or a screwdriver and things like that. Also a hunting rifle. I'm wondering if this could be traded in for a hunting harpoon gun.
Oh.
As an option, I'm totally cool if we're keeping it to the rifle, but I figured since we're going onto the ocean, I saw a harpoon gun in the movie. So quick question, just to clarify for myself and our listeners, have we seen Jaws, or are we completely ignorant of Jaws as we get into this?
You are ignorant of the movie existing. You're living in it. So
Gotcha. Okay.
The information that you guys have is Agent Kylie has summoned you all to join aboard the Orca, where bystander Quint will be captaining your mini crew. And what Agent Kylie tells you about this mission, she says, look, I don't know if it's necessarily paranormal. However, the people of Amity Island need our help. There are people who are being terrorized by this creature in the ocean, and people who are dying mercilessly, violently, and rapidly. So it's up to us, because the local government and the local police have not been able to solve the string of these murders. It's up to us to stop them. So you all...
We're gonna find that shark bastard.
We're gonna take him out. So as the story begins, you guys are on board of the Orca. It is a clearly well lived in little ship. It's got living quarters. It's got a upper deck that has where the steering is, and there's a little bit of a lower area that has a workspace for fishing, and there's a bit of a setup with rods and poles there. There's also some yellow barrels set up there as well. You did mention a harpoon gun, which is something that does happen to be in the supply. You have a lot of very basic necessities. You have compasses, radar units, nautical maps and charts, binoculars, ropes, hooks, harpoon lines. You have a chum bucket for anyone who really wants to get their hands dirty. You have rods and reels, and you got some beer on the boat for anybody who wants to take a break. Although, as you notice by being around Quint, you realize that probably all the beer is actually for Quint.
He's welcome to it.
The first time that you meet him, he tries to shake your hand and basically misses your hand entirely, and has got an aroma weaving around him already.
Wait, really fast, because you mentioned he's shaking my hand. I'd like to already right now use Sharp. I want to see, is there a wedding ring on his hand? Is there a tan line of a wedding ring? I want to see, because you said his boat is live-in. I want to know just how bad of a situation is this for Quint.
Okay, yeah.
The sea.
Go ahead and roll Sharp, and let's see if you can learn something about Quint. You also can ask Quint questions, obviously.
No, this seems like an awkward question. I don't know if I want to ask. I just want to see if I can figure it out. It's 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I rolled 7, and I have +1 in Sharp, so we got 8.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. So I would consider that a partial success, because I believe a 9 to a 12 is a full success. So when you look at him, you do see that on his old jacket that he's wearing, it looks like to be some sort of military jacket. That maybe where there was once faded medals and pins, they've been taken off. But by looking at his hands, you just notice that his hands are really rough and calloused. And he sees you looking, staring at his hand, and he whips his hand away from you. It's get on deck, sailors. We got a fish to fry.
Arrgh. You got it, Captain.
Don't mock me.
Oh, okay, sorry, man. I was just trying to see. Yeah, I noticed you got a whole living situation here, and I just wanted to know. Are you okay? You okay, dude?
I think this one's on chum duty.
Yeah, chum duty.
Chum duty. So, I believe you will be sent to chum duty, which will be right along the edge of the boat toward the front. There is a bucket of fish guts waiting for you. Casey, would you like to introduce yourself to Quint?
Yeah, before we shove off, I will give a little salute and say, Captain Quint, this is Casey reporting for duty. Permission to come aboard.
Why don't you roll charm to see how well you've presented yourself?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
We come up with a hot 6.
Oh no. Okay, so with a 6, unfortunately, he's not super impressed. He's you can't get on board yourself.
I was trying to
get on here. Get your ass on board. We got a fish to catch.
I feel like I can immediately smell the Pabst Blue Ribbon on his breath, and it's okay.
Ooh, yeah. Is he a Pabst guy, or is he a Miller Lite? Bud Light?
He's been drinking a variety of all of them, but he's currently hitting that Pabst pretty hard, and he's "Ahoy, me ladies, let's get on the road." Just singing to himself as you guys are getting aboard, and he says, "You with the wire rim glasses, Agent Casey?
That's me.
Can you steer a boat?"
Sure. Yes, I can.
You are not too convincing. It's like steering a car.
Yes, well, that's why I said yes.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing trying to hear Kylie do this voice.
I was what's the most gravelly I can sound and slightly drunk? This is it, guys. Get up there behind the wheel.
Aye, Captain.
Why don't you, as you start, we push out onto the ocean. We are now headed out onto the water. Let's see if there's some sort of maybe act under pressure that you can roll to see how well you're pulling out and driving us into the ocean.
Well, I do have a +1. Oh, wait, so am I supposed to add my +2 in charm to rolls? And
Yes.
a +1?
Yes.
Okay, so then I got an 8 on the...
Oh, no. Well,
the
hey,
charms.
at least you're driving. You got the best position. You're driving the boat,
Right. So steering the boat with a +1 to this roll becomes... Come on,
Oh, no.
do your job.
I was gonna ask, does that mean that like as soon as Casey walks away, we get like a little like
7 + 1 is an 8, so another 8.
we get like a
Ooh.
little image of Quint just kind of looking back at Casey, like over the shoulder, like a stare back, like actually, you know what? He might be charming.
yeah. No, he does give like a look back, like, I like that one. I like that one. So, with your 8, you that's also considered partial success. So, but as you are pulling your way out to the dock, maybe it's just the drunkenness of Quint, but there is one of the small anchoring ports that you guys had tied a rope around.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot to untie.
Oh,
So
no.
you rip off a small part of the brim of the boat toward the back near where
wow.
Nick is standing. You just
Right.
rip off a small piece of wood.
The front of the boat.
A mooring line just goes...
Yeah,
ripped right off.
exactly.
Beautiful.
It's like just something just goes.
Hey, don't put this on me. You put me at the front of the boat. You said that was the back. Okay, make up your mind. Where am I? Front or the back? Am I at the bow or the stern?
The bow's the back, right?
No, the bow's the front.
Oh, okay. You're at the stern because that's where you're chumming.
That's where I'm chumming. Okay, all right.
And Casey is up at the stern because Casey needs to be able to see everything around them. All right, so
What
you
was
guys are
that?
now-
Tie the ropes.
That should have been a given.
Hey, man.
All right, get back to work. Start chumming.
As he
All
says
right.
that, I mutter under my breath, ooh, it runs a really tight ship here. Okay.
I just,
What?
Nothing,
What?
Captain.
I'm just throwing chum to the water. I'm looking happy. Singing a little shanty. Once was a man with hemorrhoids, had lots of drugs and did steroids. I don't know.
Well, so as you guys are, starting out this journey, just as a note for you guys, each of you can start with one of the following: a harpoon gun, which is the same stats as a hunting rifle, a handgun, a hunting rifle, a small knife, or a bat. Anything else you need is on board, like oxygen tanks, scuba gear, shark cage, radar equipment. All that stuff is on board. Quint was very, very prepared for this mission, and since you guys have not really taken the time to get to know him, he hunts sharks. That's what he does.
I assumed that. I thought that was part of the debriefing. Okay.
Agent
I am
Kylie was busy with
absolutely-
other things. She was like, give you the bare minimum.
Mhm.
I am absolutely grabbing a harpoon rifle.
Hell yeah.
And as I just check it over, to make sure that it's functioning properly,
Mhm.
I just ask the Captain Quint, so how do you know Agent Kylie and Agent Nick? How they press gang you into this?
I got him. A woman showed up at my door one day. She was surprisingly good looking, but she handed me an envelope full of cash and asked me to take you two into the ocean.
That sounds like Kylie, all right.
I'm
Shows
surprised
up
she
at
stuck around
random
and
with
showed
an
her face when
envelope
she
full
handed you
of
the
cash.
cash. She just run away.
I mean, I got bills to pay, so yeah, I'm happy to help.
And real quick for audiences too, how are you two connected within the agency? Do you guys know each other very well? Are you Casey, are you a newer member of the agency and still kind of figuring out your roots? Agent Nick has been a part of it for a while.
I am absolutely a fairly green recruit. Agent Kylie saved me from a shark attack, biggest fish I'd ever seen. And that instilled some trust in her. Nick is not quite the same story. I am a little suspicious of Nick, It is nothing specific or personal. It's just I don't really relax around him because he jokes during deadly situations. And like above table, I thought some interplayer conflict could make things a little juicier than like, we're best friends. So yeah, like Casey, like I am a little wary. And like if my trust of Kylie was at a 9 after throwing me on a boat with a man that is clearly inebriated, and like that number is dipped to an 8.
Okay.
Like we're still well in the positives, but it's like, have I gotten myself into?
I would say for my side of the story, it would be that I'm a field agent, and so I'm out in the field a lot. But when I'm in office, I see Casey around. He's one of my coworkers. I see him in a cubicle, but I just don't. I'm terribly shy as a person, so I just get awkward, and so I look suspicious. But it's because I'm like, oh man, I hope this person. I don't think this person's gonna like me. Oh geez. And so like I tell really bad jokes because I'm trying to break the tension, but apparently that gets read in very rough.
That's
so I'm always just like by the water cooler staring at people like just like wondering, and I look creepy, but really in my mind I'm like, is this person gonna talk to me? I don't know.
Oh, so Agent Kylie definitely strategically put the two of you together because she was like, he's a newbie and he's a weirdo, and this weirdo has died a couple of times, so maybe this iteration of this weirdo could use a friend. So she came in it with well intentions, and for the record, she did tell Quint to not be drunk when they cast off. She did ask him as part of her vetting process if he will drink and drive, and then he said, I don't drink and drive. So it's a good thing he's not driving. Exactly.
I was gonna say he's following your rule.
Exactly. So as you guys are aboard the ship, Nick, you are just doing some chumming. Casey, you are driving the stern successfully. Wait, that's the right part of the boat, right? This is the real challenge of this RPG is me knowing where the boats are. You're driving the boat from the front. Great job. And Nick, you notice that some of the water starts to move in front of you, like where you're throwing the chum. Some pieces seem to be splashing down and being pulled down very quickly.
Ooh, okay. Captain, I think I see something off the stern.
What do you want?
Captain, look at the chum. It's disappearing under the water. I wonder if there's something coming to feed. Our suspected shark might be nearby.
It could just be sinking. Why don't you roll, like, investigate a mystery or something like that? Some sort of investigation.
Okay.
See if...
Okay. I'm gonna investigate, and let's see. That's a 9 plus. It is sharp, right? Yeah. So that would be a 10.
Beautiful. You, as you're yelling to Quint, you turn back, and the shark shows his full face for just a second and ducks back down under the water.
Captain, I saw the shark! Oh my gosh! Holy cow! I made it to Casey.
What's going on? What do you say? You see a shark? There's a lot of sharks in this ocean. You're gonna have to be more specific.
I saw a shark. It's... Oh my god, is that the whole reason we're here? I look over at Casey. I run towards the bow where Casey is steering.
So,
and as
Orca
you're doing
has
that,
a cabin right in the smack dab in the middle of the ship, and that's that's where the ship's wheel is.
Oh, fair enough. Yes. Okay, I run towards.
Yeah, but
the
it is on the upper level. It's on like the upstairs in the middle. So as you run, Agent Nick, as you're running over, a very drunk Quint starts to wander toward the starboard, the stern where you were, and it's like swaying because of the weight of the ocean. It's moving underneath him, and he's got his drink. He's like, I don't see anything. There's nothing but ocean. There's just water. And what he doesn't notice is that the water ripples and it's starting to follow where he is swaying.
Oh, fun. So Nick comes up screaming about a shark, and I say, "What? Where? How big?"
It's right off the stern. Oh my gosh, Casey, I don't even know why I'm on this mission. Oh my god, I think Kylie just. Oh, I think she's doing this to get revenge on me because of all the other times I badmouthed her. She knows I don't like being cold and wet. Those are my two least favorite feelings in the world. Oh my goodness. How are you doing, by the way, Casey? I think it's been a while.
High and dry for the time being. Good to see you. As I look past him, and my eyes settle on the water behind us, can I make a sharp check just to see if I can see
absolutely.
anything out behind
See
us?
anything, hear anything? Absolutely.
Alright, I got a +1 to my sharp, and that is going to be a 10 + 1 is 11. Hooray.
Beautiful.
Yes, I get an 11.
So, as you see Quint swaying, you hear the sound of the water rushing alongside of where Quint is walking toward the back end of the boat as he's swaying toward the edge. You also hear beep, 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 as if the sound of the fish radar is sensing that something is very, very, very close to the boat.
Oh my.
There's
Something
a fish.
big. There's a big creature near the boat, and as you notice too, as Quint walks along the edge and then starts to walk back toward the cabin, you notice that the ripples in the water follow and do the same. Like the ripples are actively can tell where Quint is going.
Amazing. Yeah, I am straight up gonna point that out. Avast! Shark sign!
What? What?
Oh my
Okay, I lean in towards Casey, like, hey Casey, what are we gonna do about this? Kylie clearly did not vet this captain well enough. I mean, I'm really struggling to debate whether or not we should just throw him overboard.
I would like not to immediately leap to mutiny on the Orca if we can help it.
Fair enough.
And
Look!
I
In the water.
Oh my gosh, roll my eyes. Casey,
I grab Nick by the shoulder and say, "Give me a quick inventory. Find something to fire at that thing." And start looking around. I've got the harpoon gun ready, but I'm also looking for anything even remotely explosive. I have never, gone fishing with dynamite before, but that could be a thing.
okay.
You're welcome to make an investigative mystery and kind of search around the cabin that you're already in because you're right next to that cabin. So feel free to do that. Agent Nick, what are you gonna do in the meantime as Quint is walking around the sides? At this point, he's gotten up on the edge of the little the balcony part where he's walking just on the edge, basically drunkenly balancing. He seems to have no cares for this mission.
I shout to Quint. I was like, "Hey, what do you got to kill fish on this tub?"
Why don't I'm guessing you shouted pretty aggressively. Why don't you roll cool for me first before you investigate to
That's
see
gonna
if
be a
you're
+1.
if you negatively impact Quint.
Yeah, that is a 4, which a +1 is a 5.
Give me your best guttural yell, like you're trying to get his attention.
Hey, Captain! What do you got to kill fish on this tub?
And you see a Quint slip on the edge of the as he's walking the deck, he's on the edge and he's slipping and sliding, and you just see the shark's head pop out of the water, just watching with curiosity. And I am gonna let fate decide, break the rules a little bit. Odds he falls off, evens he falls onto the boat, unless one of you want to make some sort of action.
Nick! Grab him!
What do you do, Nick?
I run and I try to help him. I stick out my hand. I try and grab him by the collar.
I think you have an action to help with this.
Let's see. So, I have basic moves, and then my 3 moves I picked for this campaign were Oops, the Power of Heart, and What Could Go Wrong. I'll go ahead and use my Power of Heart. I grab him. I go, the power of friendship. Abides me to not let you fall off this monster.
I didn't know we were friends. I thought we were more like acquaintances. Maybe.
Whoa, that was wild.
Thanks everyone for joining us on this episode of Survive This Crit. Make sure to tune in next week to find out what happens to our incredible agents and our captain. Make sure to like and subscribe. Use that notification bell so you are in the loop for when our episode comes out on Friday. Bye everyone.
Bye.